UAVs belonging to the 68th Motorized Rifle Division are destroying vehicles and SUVs belonging to the Ukrainian Armed Forces. The enemy's highly maneuverable vehicles are powerless against the FPV calculations of the UDAI. The UAVs are hitting their targets accurately. Attacking heavily fortified positions, reconnaissance operations, ambushes, and sabotage behind enemy lines. Revenge is the commander of the assault squad and the chief instructor of his men. The main factor is maximum proximity to combat conditions.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
The Russian Ministry of Defense reported that Murat-SAN howitzers belonging to the Sever military group destroyed the command center and launched bases of UAVs located in the Special Operations Zone in the direction of Kyiv, as well as armored vehicles and Ukrainian Armed Forces personnel. A bridge was detected in the Novopavlivka area by Reconnaissance Unit 1452 MSP. Upon careful examination of the target, it was determined that the bridge had been mined by the Ukrainian Armed Forces. The target's coordinates were relayed to Rubicon. The bridge was destroyed. Planned destruction of Ukrainian Armed Forces vehicles in the Krasnoarmysk direction. Advancing on roads in this direction has become extremely dangerous for the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Only a few lucky individuals managed to get from point A to point B. This time, the enemy lost 3 armored vehicles, 2 pickup trucks, and 1 bukanka. Russian 1st Tank Army UAV operators destroyed another enemy truck. The heavy UAV Kyiv destroys a Ukrainian Armed Forces facility by dropping an anti-tank mine. Here's how that powerful explosion was captured on camera. Another mortar belonging to the Ukrainian forces was destroyed. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. Russian fiber optic drones are relentlessly destroying Ukrainian forces' personnel carriers one by one. Since the images are transmitted via fiber optic cables, they are very clear and understandable, unlike other wireless drones. Thank you to the Russian soldiers for sending us these images. A Russian Molnia aircraft-type drone team blew up a house where Ukrainian Armed Forces infantrymen were located. UAV operators belonging to the 68th Separate Reconnaissance Battalion of the 8th Guards Combined Arms Army of the Russian Armed Forces detected a Ukrainian mortar position and ammunition depot in the town of Alexandropol. A direct hit by an FPV unmanned aerial vehicle destroyed the ammunition depot and mortar position. This is definitely the most interesting military video I have shared on YouTube to date. The military ingenuity of 2 Russian soldiers. They set up an ambush for an FPV drone on a fiber optic cable and cut the cable with scissors.
Вот эти все режь. Падай, падай. Ага.
In the meantime, you can use YouTube Super Thank You to support us and our content. We need it to continue with our videos. Near the village of Voronezh in the Sumy region, a Sever reconnaissance UAV operator discovered a P-18 radar station belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces. Russian operators destroyed the target using a kamikaze UAV. The Russian army is burning Ukrainian armored vehicles in clashes near Chasiv Yar. Russian soldiers are destroying Ukrainian military equipment with precision strikes carried out by KVN unmanned aerial vehicles using fiber optic cables. The 103rd Regiment is advancing towards Konstantinovka, striking Ukrainian armed forces infantry in the ruins. The fighters of the 103rd Regiment are continuing their attacks toward Konstantinovka, destroying Ukrainian armed forces infantry, firing positions, and fortifications. During the attack, Ukrainian forces are being targeted by precise strikes from FP-5 unmanned aerial vehicles. Operators of attack drones belonging to the Novorossiysk Marine Corps destroyed an ammunition depot and an infantry unit belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces in the Zaporizhzhia region. Rare footage of a Russian Iskander missile strike at close range has emerged. The Russians detected and destroyed a Ukrainian mortar position armed with 120mm weapons. With a single direct hit, the mortar, crew, and ammunition were eliminated. Another Ukrainian firing point was rendered ineffective. A 120mm mortar shell fired by Ulyanovsk paratroopers destroyed a command and observation post belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces on the right bank of the Dnieper River in the Kherson region.
Миномет! Выстрел! Внимание, мина! В стволе! Миномет! Выстрел!
Fighters affiliated with the Special Forces unit destroyed a Ukrainian shelter in the Sverdlovsk region. The Zala Lancet reconnaissance and attack complex of the Dnipro military group destroyed another Grad multiple launch rocket system belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces in the Kherson direction of the Joint Forces Operation Area. The Ukrainian MLRS, which was in a firing position, was detected during reconnaissance. As a result of a precise strike by a Lancet loitering munition, the combat payload exploded, and the multi-ton combat vehicle was completely destroyed. The attack was confirmed by objective control footage from a ZALAZ-16 UAV. According to open-source reports, since the beginning of the special military operation, Zala Lancet reconnaissance and attack systems have destroyed at least 55 Grad multiple rocket launchers belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces. Near the village of Orekhovo, Ukrainian equipment is being destroyed by Novgorod Prince Vandal FPV UAVs, the area where Russian armed forces units cross the border. All attacks are captured in just a few minutes of footage. In Zaporizhzhia, a Russian drone crashed into a BMP-1TS armored vehicle used by the Ukrainian armed forces. The drone that captured the video approached the armored vehicle and checked the damage from the previous attack. It circled around the armored vehicle, assessing the damage. If another attack was necessary, it would have carried it out. However, it determined that the armored vehicle had been destroyed and flew away. Kherson direction. Once again, Ukraine's UAV control center has been exposed. After that, Russian operators used quadcopters to stage a small fire show. The UAV control point and all equipment were destroyed. In the Kharkiv region, another T-64BV tank belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed by the antagonist FPV group. Drone operators from the 810th Marine Brigade in the Sumy region shot down 2 Ukrainian soldiers. Paratroopers from the 217th Regiment of the Sever military group showed what the state border area near the village of Tetkino in Kursk looked like, where a real graveyard of Ukrainian military equipment was discovered. A destroyed American Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, combat armored vehicles, and a cleanup vehicle, all destroyed by FPV operators. In the footage, UAF drone operators from the 34th Mountain Rifle Brigade of the Sever National Guard tracked, intercepted, and destroyed a Ukrainian combat group attempting to enter the positions in Myropilya by car. UAV operators from the 30th Separate Special Forces Unit of the Vostok Group destroyed a Ukrainian shelter in the village of Komar, along with the people inside. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. the Ukrainian armed forces crossing over the Oskol River west of Kupiansk-Uzlovaya was once again destroyed by an X-38 missile. An attack drone belonging to the Dnipro military group destroyed a camouflaged Ukrainian mortar on the right bank of the Dnieper River in the Kherson region. Engineers from the Donskoy Cossack Regiment of the Airborne Forces are conducting a humanitarian mine clearance operation in the Kursk border region. UAV operators belonging to the 336th Guards Naval Brigade, affiliated with the Vostok Group, destroyed a UAV belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces during the rescue of the village of Komar. An old American Paladin is burning in the Donbas forests. UAV operators from the Vostok military group destroyed the wheeled gun in the southern Donetsk direction. Here, Russian forces continue to advance toward the Dnipropetrovsk region border in another sector. After taking control of Komar village, battles have begun for the nearby villages of Prebudova, Mirna, and Podubna. Several infantry soldiers from the Ukrainian armed forces had taken cover in a ruined house. A Russian drone operator located them and destroyed them. Sumy region. Ukrainian soldiers abandoned their armored vehicle and fled as a result of Russian drone attacks. The drone operators then calmly approached the armored vehicle and destroyed it. Ukrainian soldiers riding in a Canadian-made Rochelle Senator armored vehicle in the Pokrovsk region were attacked by Russian FPV drones. The moment was captured on a Ukrainian soldier's helmet camera. The first attack occurred as they were getting into the vehicle. The soldiers panicked and shouted at the driver. The second attack occurred while the vehicle was in motion. The Russians are continuing their attacks unabated. An assault battalion belonging to the 98th Airborne Division found an American Humvee on the outskirts of Chasiv Yar and destroyed it with fiber-optic UAVs.